Stephen Jones.
Well, taking a look at today's time-lapse, just those beautiful cumulus clouds out and about today. Plenty of sunshine. Hopefully you got out and enjoyed it. Maybe stayed cool with some water out there as well. Getting towards that sunset, had a good amount of cloud cover off towards the west. Helped to cool us off, at least starting that cool down or not get quite as hot towards the sunset time frame. And current temperatures at the 10 p.m. hour, really around the 80s out there. 85 here in town. Same for Eden as well as Merton off towards the west. 87 for both Sterling City and Robert Lee. The warm spot going to be Ozona at 88 degrees right now in the cool spot. 84 for Brady and Junction, unless you include Coleman. So a good 5 degrees across the Concho Valley. Dew points holding their own in those 60s and 50s. 54 in Ozona, 60 here in town, 70 even down in Junction with relative humidity indices from the 30s up towards those 60s as you work your way further towards the southeast. But as we really go through the next few days, going to continue to watch that moisture hold in place, even maybe grow thanks to what's Tropical Storm Barry down there in the Gulf, or actually becoming Tropical Depression Barry. But you can see all the tropical air really down towards the Rio Grande Valley. Going to make its way as far as maybe Del Rio, even towards into Crockett County there by the time we're heading into Wednesday. That's going to help out those rain chances with a little bit of some weak disturbances building into that ridge that we're really dealing with in the upper level pattern. As far as the tropics go, taking a look down there in the Gulf, now we've got Tropical Depression Barry at about 35 miles an hour, just below that tropical storm strength. That would be 39 miles an hour. Of course, it has made landfall into Mexico, not going to be coming into the Texas coast, but what this low pressure is going to do is send some more moisture our way, just like we just saw on the moisture tracker out there. But they've also got more to worry about off the west coast of Mexico. In the Pacific Basin, we have Tropical Storm Flossie right now, expected to become a hurricane. So this one's going to become quite a bit stronger than what we saw with Tropical Storm Barry. Right now, projections have it about a Category 2 hurricane, 80 to 90 miles an hour for those maximum winds, currently sitting at about 40 miles an hour, moving to the west-northwest at 8 miles an hour, before it starts to weaken as it heads towards the Baja Peninsula there, Baja California. And of course, another thing we're watching off towards the southeast United States is this low-pressure system really around Florida. They've given it a low chance of forming nothing through the next 48 hours, but over the next week or so, the National Hurricane Center watching it for about a 20% chance of development as it works over Florida. So going to keep my eye on that as well. Back towards the Lone Star State, looking at our satellite, all the convection really off towards the west, where it's been for the past 7 days at least, really. You can see all that explosive convection, especially towards the Panhandle as well. And when we turn on the radar for you, that's exactly what we're seeing over towards the Big Bend. From about Midland into Lubbock, you can see those storms taking place. Some good rain up in Lubbock, I know I was hearing earlier. As we zoom into the Concho Valley, seeing a good amount of that cloud cover starting to push in from the west at least into Crockett County, parts of Tom Green, and most of our western counties still sitting pretty clear in the east, and maybe just a little bit of Virga there off towards the south. As we go into the futurecast, you can see how most of that activity actually starts to work in a little bit. Take a look here. You can see by tomorrow afternoon, maybe just some of that isolated to scattered activity, especially off towards the I-20 corridor, but maybe a few thunderstorms trying to take off. So I've got that 30% chance in there for tomorrow. Going into Tuesday, pretty much the same deal, but maybe a little bit weaker, at least according to the graph model here. You can see still those pops of green popping up on the futurecast. And into Wednesday, more and more of that copy and paste. The summertime forecast is really what we're looking at. Just some very isolated showers, maybe a quick downpour. So we're not all going to see rain, but maybe just a little bit out there. In terms of rain totals, nothing too crazy. Maybe a quarter of an inch up towards a half an inch, but we're going to see just a few of those lucky winners out there. For tonight, about 72 degrees is what we're looking at under those mostly clear skies. South-southeast winds similar to last night, 10 to 15 miles an hour. Tomorrow, about 94 degrees, and we're on the lookout for some of those afternoon isolated thunderstorms, so going to keep my eye out for that. And as we work through the 7-day forecast, of course, we've got Griff's birthday there on Tuesday to kick off July. The chief of meteorology there on Wednesday, Chase, as well. Temperature is going to be in those 80s thanks to some of that rain-cooled air towards the 4th of July, holding those rain chances before it dries up into the first weekend of July, and we rebound with those temperatures into the mid-90s. That's all for your 7-day forecast, but we've got